All right, here we go. We've got on tap coming up. You probably already know, but I want you to like and subscribe and do all that fun stuff. Now, this one's based in Los Angeles, I think. Okay, this is Ghostbusters Answer the Call. This is a new one. It came out in 2016. I like my old movies too. So, basically starts off the same as the original, except for they're at separate universities. Two of them are at two of them are at one university that doesn't even know they're really there, and the other one is trying to get tenure at the school. Oh, and they're based at New York. Okay, so these are all women this time. They're not men. They're saying too many politics in this one. I'm not giving it a high rating because of this one. It does seem to be a decent movie, though. So, anyway, so it's about a book. This is how they reconnected. I guess they were college dorm friends in this one. They don't seem to be the children of any of the real ones. The real ones, the original ones. In the original movie. So this is basically a separate movie all by itself, but they call it Answer the Call. So this one's kind of crazy the way they did it. The book published, they said how the supernatural works and devices they can make, how to make devices so that they could catch the ghosts or bust the ghosts, whichever way you want to call it. They built gadgets in this one, more gadgets than not. See, they got one that's an engineer, one that's a crazy person, and then they got one that's a psychologist or one that studies the supernatural. The first ghost they get called out on is, I remember it's one in a subway. Yeah, subway tunnel. And it's a prisoner from above where it used to be, but it turns out there's another force working against him from a hotel that they build machinery to bring the ghost to life, break the ley lines that are holding the ghost on the ethereal plane. And so the first thinking about it, because I just watched it today. The first one was in a historical mansion. They show the tour that people are going through where apparently way back when, when according to the historical person talking about it, or the tour person's talking about it, the owner of the house found all of his staff dead, so they locked up the kid that did it in the basement and fed her through a hole in the door, and that was about all it was. Then they had a mechanical lamp that jumped. When he pushed buttons, the lamp hit the floor to make the tour more interesting. So when all the tour was over, he got the basement door got open, which they say they never opened, and he got drawn into there because it was chased in there by a spirit or vapor or whatever. Then he ends up having trouble getting out because the stairs break, and he ends up hanging, and they show him out. Then the subway tunnel is the next one, and they end up with a makeshift proton accelerator. Not quite as good as the original ones, but they ended up with one because they had to make it because their engineer was making it at the college. And they made fun of people record ghost sounds, because there was a fart on one of the tapes and they laughed about it, which doesn't fit. Having all women in there, they wouldn't laugh about something like that. I want to push some buttons over there. I think I will push some buttons. That's better. I got the button pushed. Yeah, that's going to help with what I was trying to do. Anyway, so we've got they run around after they figure it out. They run around busting ghosts. They take a loan out trying to get the firehouse like in the previous two Ghostbusters. They didn't get it, so they end up moving up over a Chinese restaurant, and the one lady always orders from them and always getting one wonton and a full thing of soup. I thought that was funny. Then they hire a guy, they make him look like a dope. Every time, he does all kinds of strange things that are to do it. He hears a loud noise, he covers his eyes. That type of thing. That's how Hollywood does it. They think men are dopes. Too many politics in this one, so I'm not really too happy about it. So anyway, they get together, finally get together, then the lady from the subway booth joins them, and turns out to be, she becomes a Ghostbuster. She gets it looked like a 1982 hearse, red top, black bottom. They end up converting it, painting it white with no ghost symbol, Ghostbuster, and a circle with a slash through it. No ghosts allowed type of thing, which they found out from the subway, somebody painting the walls. Then they end up figuring out who's building the machines and chase him to this motel where all the ley lines meet together, or all the lines meet that he's trying to activate. They show scenes with him going, charge the lines, activate, free the ghosts. So what ended up happening is they chased him there, and then he was getting ready to start his machine up. They got him cornered, and he grabs the two electrical things that are sitting beside him and electrocutes himself to death. They think it's over. And he comes back at a ghost and haunts one of the Ghostbusters in the bathroom and does all kinds of strange things. When they get the ghost out of her, then it's into that it flies around for a few minutes, and it's into the silly, stupid male secretary. Then he becomes a real force of nature after that. Then he ends up flying around and riding a motorcycle away, and then he ends up back in the same place at the hotel and puts everything back together and fires it all up. Then he gets it going, and they have a whirling swirl of I don't know, I'll call it plasma or ethereal plane energy, breaking the barrier between the ethereal plane and the regular plane, Earth, whatever. Then so they end up having a fight with him. He gets the I went a little too far about this one, but he gets the cops to dancing or posing. And that reminds me of The Mask. So, it's kind of funny there the way they did that, but it kind of it's like, really? It doesn't really fit the movie. It's just kind of a whole bunch of people striking a pose. It doesn't really do a whole good lot for it. So anyway, this guy, fights with them, and then he disappears, and he gets out of the little guy, and he goes off after they're fighting the ghost. He turns himself into the symbol, that they have on the side of the car with the little white ghost shape. Looks like a person with a sheet over him, and a little X. He climbs out of the little X or slash, circle with a slash. Then they say that'd be a good form for him to take, and then he gets, 20 stories tall. Then he goes after them, and they run away, and then they come back and to the swirl because they get bigger and tearing down the building, and then I forgot to tell you, Ecto 1, the Ghostbusters hearse, the one they painted. A whole bunch of ghosts take over that and drive it around, which is funny. I thought so anyway. There's a lot of funny things they do that I'm not telling you about in this movie, so you really should go see it. Then the ghosts come back after a while, and they drive right directly. They narrow their path with their guns and their plasma rifles, I guess you want to call it. Then they get the ghosts into the direction. They blow up the nuclear accelerator on the top as it goes into the hole. And it starts to close, and then one of them gets taken in by the 70-foot original ghost, the one they're fighting. So the other one ties a cable around her waist. The way she hooked it up, just hook over the cable, it would tighten up. So that would hurt, and it doesn't seem like it hurts her, but that would hurt anybody doing it that way. So she jumps in the hole with the cable attached, trying to rescue her buddy, and ends up having to use her plasma rifle to get the thing to let go, and then they catch her. The other two pull her out, then they come out with white hair, and then from there on, it's pretty funny. They get some comedy going on, and they get some interesting returns on their investment. Uncle that owns the hearse is looking for the hearse, and he tells they don't really understand where it went, and it turned out to be a pretty good movie, even though there's way too many politics in this one. But it's worth watching. Yeah, it's worth watching. Anyway, so we're going to call this one good, and we'll see you on the next one, whether it's a day or a week. We'll see you later.
you.